Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, so rumor has it that Terence Crawford is considering a move to 154. Now, you know, Terence Crawford has said that a couple of times that he might go up to 154. And rumor has it that he's interested in the winner of Castano's Charlo 2, which will take place in March. Either March the 12th or March the 19th. So we'll have to see. I'll keep you posted about that fight. But nevertheless, due to the fact that he's having great difficulty trying to make the fight that we all want to see, and it just appears that it's just a lot of resistance going on to where basically it just seemed like certain people just don't want to make that fight. My thing is, he's probably going to run into the same thing if he goes up to 154. At the end of the day, we all know we got some gang stuff going on in boxing, not only with the promoters, but you know, with the fans. If you ain't down with this dude, then, you know, if you ain't down with this dude, then we don't mess with you. You know what, on a side note, I want to talk about something that was like kind of funny. Like, once again, I want to continue to expose the fake, conscious, woke, so-called pro-black media. It's kind of funny how everybody always talking this stuff about, and I ain't talking about everybody, but I'm talking about the people that try to play that pro-black card, that the so-called woke boxing channels, which they ain't woke, but they just full of it. They use that as a front. But don't you remember a couple of weeks ago when Leonard Ellaby was talking about he'd do this and he'd do that to Eddie Hearn? And it was kind of funny. You had all these dudes come for Leonard Ellaby. Now, I'm not saying to everybody, and I'm not talking about everybody who defended Eddie Hearn. I'm talking about certain people that always try to play that pro-black card. Now, when it comes to Bob Arum, then all of a sudden it's coonery. But when it comes to Eddie Hearn, then it's not, you know what I'm saying, you doing the right thing. You see how fake a lot of these dudes is on YouTube? But nevertheless, I just wanted to use that as a side note, man, because I'm going to continue to dig in these dudes' chests like Pac say. But just these dudes are just comical. But, however, let's get back to Terence Crawford. I would commend Terence Crawford if he goes up to 154 and he could beat a fighter the likes of Jamel or Brian Castanos, because that would be a very tall task for Terence Crawford. That would just be, you know, that, whew. You got to understand, you know, Jamel is big. You know, he's like 6 feet tall. You know, he's like 6 feet tall. Castanos is like about 5'9", but he's still big. He's a stalky dude. And both of them can box, and both of them got power. Now, like I said before, I would be very worried for Terence Crawford. You know, but if Terence Crawford believes in himself, then so be it. But at the end of the day, we already know people would be rooting for, you know, like I say, once again, these dudes that talk all that pro-black stuff. You know, like I said, if he decided to fight Virgil Ortiz, these dudes would be rooting for Virgil Ortiz. Just like them dudes was secretly rooting for Kell Brook. Now, Kell Brook is, you know, Kell Brook got that melanin in him. You know, just like most of the dudes was praying that Sean Porter pulled that off. Because they thought if Sean Porter pulls that off, then that's a hurdle. Then they feel like no Terence Crawford, you know, Spence fight. But that's what it came to in boxing. They really don't want the fight. Just like they was rooting for Mean Machine. Like I said, I'm gonna keep exposing these dudes. You can't rebuttal what I'm saying because it's the truth. But nevertheless, that would just be real dangerous for Terence Crawford to consider a move to 154. And like I said before, people would be praying that he fails. Now, my thing is he probably is going to run into the same problem that he's having now. Like I said before, and I'm glad a lot of y'all starting to see the truth now. I told you that I'm trying to tell you that Bob Arum stuff was cap. It was cap. It was cap from the gate. Leave PBC, and then we'll make the fight. And then, like I said, you had certain people running, or his team, or the people that back him running to the sanctioning bodies, not wanting to make Terence Crawford the number one contender, so they can start negotiations to make that fight happen. And like I said, I exposed all that stuff. I debunked all this stuff about, oh, dude stayed true to his word. Lie. That's a lie. It was strap season. That's a lie. What strap did Danny Garcia have? What strap did Mikey Garcia have? I'm going to go direct. I'm coming to the fight. Terence Crawford stopped Sean Porter. I need to leave. But then tweets he wasn't impressed. But didn't tell Terence Crawford that. So I mean, I'm just saying, man. I don't give a damn about people having an attitude towards me. If you mad at me for telling the truth, then fuck you anyway. And I don't care who you is and who you affiliated with and who you say you with. Real talk. If you get an attitude like a little bitch because I won't comply and I won't follow your script, and you got an attitude about that because you don't want me to have my honest opinion, then you wasn't cool anyway. And that's just real talk. I respect everybody's opinion. Never said you had to agree with me. But if you got an attitude because I got a difference of opinion, then it just shows who you really are. But that is, like I said, man, that's a real dangerous move for Terence Crawford. And if Terence Crawford does sign on, and even if he does come up short, win, lose, or draw, Terence Crawford got more heart than some of the people that y'all trying to pump up. Like I said, once again, I exposed everything. I exposed that fake woke stuff, all that stuff. You got dudes sitting up here talking about Bob Arum, but then they don't want to say nothing about Jerry Jones, who was the main catalyst in getting Colin Kaepernick ostracized out the NFL. So, like I said, I'm not exposing these dudes. They exposing themselves. But like I said, if Terence Crawford win, lose, or draw, if he goes up to 154 and fights the very best at 154, whether he comes up short or not, to me, that makes him a legend. And that make him a soldier. So, it is what it is. Let me know what you think. This your boy Town Biz. I am out.